Alabasta saga in 10 minutes. Let's do this. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, click the like button, subscribe.
Welcome to the Grand Line Review,
Turn on that
your
bell.
source for everything One Piece, and more specifically, sagas in minutes. The series that aims to equip you with the basic knowledge to leap into the wilderness of One Piece. And today, we're going to be delving into some more classic era One Piece and start our exploration of the Grand Line with the Alabasta saga. The Alabasta Saga is the second in the series, consisting of 5 individual arcs told over a mighty 117 chapters and a giggity 69 anime episodes. And we begin with the Straw Hats.
I didn't realize it was that many chapters.
Into the Grand Line. However, to enter this stretch of water, one must travel over the exceptionally dangerous Reverse Mountain. Although through a good old bout of teamwork, they manage to cross the mountain, enter the Grand Line, and the very first thing they see is a giant whale. The whale's name is the...
What I'm confused about is I saw a lot of people that complain about the pacing in Alabasta, right? But then I see a lot of people when they bring up pacing in One Piece, they always use the, oh, they only adapted half chapter. They only adapted half chapter. So in theory, didn't they adapt an average of 2 chapters per episode here?
The boon, and Luffy ends up curing.
So doesn't that punch a hole in the theory about chapters and
pacing?
Tremor, thank you for the prime
also
sub.
Discover an old doctor named Crocus, who informs them of exactly how to travel the Grand Line, as well as states that the final island is Raft Tell, an island in which only the crew of the former Pirate King has ever reached, and it is assumed that this is where the One Piece is hidden. During this time, there's also some tomfoolery.
Chapter and a half. Okay.
Known as Mr. Nine and Miss Wednesday, who were
so look, chat. I'm aware pre-time skip didn't have pacing issues. What I'm saying is, as a YouTuber, right, who got thousands and thousands and thousands of comments that you all don't get because you don't make YouTube content, the amount of shit talking on Alabasta's pacing was insane. I saw so much shit about Alabasta's pacing. Obviously, saw a lot of people that love Alabasta, but there was a lot of people shitting on Alabasta's pacing. That's all I'm pointing out. I'm not saying the pacing was bad. I did not think the pacing was bad. I just think it's funny that the people that talk about pacing always bring up, oh, they only adapted half a chapter per episode. That's the entire justification as to why the pacing's bad, period, end of story. But yet they're also saying that Alabasta had bad pacing when it had more than half a chapter, which just doesn't make sense to me.
Trying to kill the boon so that they could feed his juicy whale meat to their hometown. Things do not go well for them, but eventually the two beg the Straw Hats to take them to an island named Whiskey Peak, to which Luffy surprisingly agrees. And as the group leave Reverse Mountain, we linger on Crocus for a bit, who reveals that he once knew the former Pirate King and ponders over whether the Straw Hats are the pirate crew that they've been waiting for. Upon arrival in Whiskey Peak, the crew are greeted as heroes and even treated to a soiree of sorts. However, this was but a clever ruse, and it is revealed that the entire island was populated by agents of an underground organization named Baroque Works, who were planning to capture Luffy and turn him into the world government to claim his 30 million berry bounty. Unfortunately for them, and very impressively, despite having won drinking contests against 13 individual people that night, Zoro manages to stay alert and proceeds to take out the entire town of roughly 100 bounty hunters.
I think that's my favorite thing about Zoro. And it happened at the end of Fishman Island, where he's asleep, passed out, and Luffy's like, Zoro. And instantly, he's like, yep. Like, I love that motherfucker is always sleeping, but at the same time, he is always alert and ready to go at every single moment.
Is capable of stopping him whatsoever, not even the higher ranking Baroque Works agents. However, eventually Luffy wakes up and misunderstands.
Oh my god, I forgot about this!
Fight with Zoro. In the meantime, 2 officers.
Was I the only one? This felt really weird and out of place. I need to know, was I the only one that felt this way? This was the one time during One Piece where I was like, this seems weird and I don't like it. It doesn't make, like, I felt like it was almost like we were watching a different show. Like it was 2 characters that they were just completely different. It was forced. It wasn't Oda's idea. Really? Hold on, is that actually true? That would make so much sense. Is there actually like a confirmation? I know it was his editors. Do you guys have confirmation on that? Or are y'all just like assuming? Like, do you have like actual confirmation? Like an article or something? A quote? I love how some people are saying it's official and then others saying not confirmed. I'm just going to assume it's a rumor if you don't have proof. I'm sorry, I don't buy into conspiracy theories. But I do agree that this felt really out of place, and it was the one part of the series that it's not that it was a bad episode, I just didn't really like it.
with Zoro. In the meantime, 2 officer agents arrive on the island known as Mr. Five and Miss Valentine, who are in search of a spy within their organization, although they find themselves in the way of the fight between Luffy and Zoro and end up being beaten exceedingly quickly. After witnessing such strength, the choice is made to reveal the true identity of Miss Wednesday, who is actually Princess Vivi of the Alabasta Kingdom. Huh. What do you know? And it is then explained that the leader of Baroque
Princess Vivi,
who is also
nothing. Thank you for the follow, dude, or the sub.
Been working to plunge Alabasta into civil war for his own nefarious purposes, and Vivi infiltrated his organization to find a way to fight him. The Straw Hats agree to help Vivi save her nation. However, just prior to their departure from the island, they encounter Miss All Sunday, the vice president of Baroque Works, who attempts to help the crew, but Luffy refuses. And so we set sail, with the next stop of the log post being an island known as Little Garden, a piece of land populated by dinosaurs, 2 giants, and wouldn't you know it, several more Baroque Works agents. In regards to the giants though, their names are Dory and Broggy, and they have been locked in a never-ending duel for the past century.
I always forget about these arcs. Like I've never forgotten the characters or the arc itself, but I always forget that it is an arc, I guess, if that makes sense. Like all of the short little arcs that were just kind of like leading up to a bigger one, it always just throws me off. I feel like it changed after Eni's Lobby. Like, I feel like Shabandi, even though it was a really short arc, was obviously very impactful and very meaningful. And then the same thing with the Maiden Island. Robin trash? Robin trash? Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Hell fucking no. Look, I'm all for having your own opinions here. That's an opinion I can't let slide. That is an opinion I can't let slide. Where is this person? Nope, you're banned. Fuck you. You want to get unbanned? Then you could submit an unban request and fucking beg for forgiveness. Holy shit. Fuck you. Robin trash. Are you kidding me? Bro. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Yeah. Yeah. What now, bitch? Huh? What now? What are you going to say now, huh? Wait, you see that? 26,000 votes. 68%. Bro. Bro. You ain't gonna come here and talk shit about Robin. Oh, hell no, dude. Absolutely not.
Stop 2 citizens of Elbaf doing their thing.
No
shot. 2 of them are also former infamous pirate captains with a 100 million berry bounty on their heads each. And so the officer agent Mr. 3 comes up with a cunning plan to interrupt the fight and collect the bounty. Unlike prior agents, Mr. 3 and his partner Miss Golden Week present a proper challenge.
Low-key abusing power. I know. Chat, I'm abusing power in my own stream. This ain't a democracy. This is a dictatorship, motherfucker. You're banned too now. Ha ha!
of the Straw Hats, with Mr. 3 managing to imprison Zoro, Nami, and Vivi on a wax wedding cake candelabra thing crafted from his devil fruit abilities, while Miss Golden Week subdued Luffy purely through the power of painting. And so it is left to Usopp and Vivi's pet duck Karoo to save the day as they manage to free everyone and together take down the officer agents. As thanks for their actions, Dory and Broggy help the Straw Hats depart the island.
He will be remembered.
Fishy, known as the
I already forgot his name.
It revealed to us that the reason why they began fighting in the first place was because one day Dory and Broggy could not decide whose fish was bigger, and so they entered a contest of honor to settle the feud, a contest that to this day has still not come to a conclusion. But with that out of the way, it's now on to Alabasta, right? Wrong. Whilst on Little Garden, Nami caught a deadly fever, and so the Straw Hats have to put their mission on hold.
I forgot about
Doctor,
this.
Which leads them to Drum Island, a bit of a...
Yo, straight up, Drum Island, straight up, underrated arc. I stand by this 100%. Absolute trash villain. Trash villain, which is why I think that the arc gets wrecked. It is such an incredible arc and just suffers because the villain was absolute dog shit. And it's such a bummer because overall it was such a good arc. Like you get to see so many things. I feel like in this arc, not only do we see get a really upsetting storyline of Nami struggling. You have Luffy, right? We know how much Luffy, we know how much Luffy cares about his crew. But I feel like here, this was the arc that they really set it in place. Like, Luffy will do anything for his crew. And then on top of that, we get Chopper in the same arc, and Chopper has such an incredible backstory. Like, this was such an underrated arc. Just Wapple sucks. Why he gotta suck so bad?
Had recently been sacked by a pirate known as Blackbeard, causing its former king Wapple to flee in fear. Now Wapple,
I forgot about it being Blackbeard.
So he happened to take all of the island's best doctors with him, well, all except for one, that is, a person referred to as a witch by the townsfolk, Dr. Kureha. Unfortunately, Kureha took up residence in Drum Castle after Wapple fled, and so it is put upon Luffy to carry both Nami and an injured Sanji all the way up the highest mountain of the island, barehanded by the way, to which Luffy barely makes it to the top, and the three are taken in for medical treatment by Dr. Kureha and her assistant, a reindeer called Tony Chopper. Well, he's half reindeer anyway. Chopper
my boy!
However, at a certain point in his life, he stumbled across the Hito no Mi, and upon consuming it, he gained a human level of sentience, as well as the ability to transform into a human.
He looked fucked up in that scene, though, I'm not gonna lie.
Following this, he was exiled from his herd and labeled a monster by the human residents of the island, and only found solace in one person, his mentor, Dr. Hiroluk. However, various tragedies struck, and Hiroluk took his own life in front of Drum.
Who sucks more, Wapple or Foxy? Wapple. 100%. Foxy also kind of trash, but Wapple, I'm saying this without thinking too much, so I might be wrong. However, I would say that Wapple is arguably the worst villain in the entire series, at least up until where I am, right? Like, that's the thing. Foxy was at least funny, you know what I mean? Like, Foxy at least gave some comedic relief, but Wapple was just absolute trash. Spandam, here's the thing though. Spandam was trash, but Spandam was a good villain. Spandam was just a little bitch boy, a little spoiled bitch boy who was an absolute fucking lunatic, which in my opinion made him a good villain. Wapple just a fat fuck who likes to eat. That's it. That's it. He just generic ass king. Like, that's it, dude. He's just trash. He's just such a bad villain.
Castle, prompting Chopper to beg Kureha to train him and sparking his dream to become a great doctor and
Captain
cure
Morgan
all disease. Shortly,
Alvida? Bro, both of them shit all over Wapple, dude. Are you kidding? Is that even a question? Is that even a question? Captain Morgan, a way better villain than Wapple. Like, not even comparable. I don't know why I have to say this, but stronger does not equal better villain. Like, maybe some of y'all feel that way, but like, just because somebody's strong doesn't mean that they're a better villain. You know what I mean? Like, if y'all are gonna start comparing power to best anime out there, I mean, then let's just end this discussion and acknowledge that Dragon Ball Z is the greatest anime of all time. Like if we're gonna gauge things being good based on power levels, you know what I mean? Like, come on now, use your brains, please.
After the Straw Hats arrived, the former King Wapple returned to the island to reclaim his throne, but remember, he's a bit of a dick.
I love Dragon Ball Z, by the way.
Defeated by Luffy and Chopper himself would go on to join.
But I'm just saying, come on.
To travel the world to broaden his medical knowledge and make his dream come true. And now we arrive at the main event as the Straw Hats finally enter the desert nation of Alabasta. Just prior to their arrival, they encounter Bon Clay, an agent of Baroque.
My dad can beat up your dad.
And he doesn't know that they are prime targets of his organization. As such, they become friends instantly, and he displays his devil fruit power, which allows him to change his body into the form of anybody whom he has touched. One of the forms Bon Clay demonstrates is Vivi's father, Nefertari Cobra, which tips Vivi off to the fact that he is indeed a Baroque Works agent, and after the two groups depart, the Straw Hats come up with the idea to draw an X on their left arms to prove that they are all crewmates, so as to not be fooled by Bon Clay pretending to be.
Grand Line Review. Lol. A joke of a YouTuber. You know who's more of a joke? You. Banned. I love this. Well, he's more successful than you will ever be in your entire life. We don't shit talk other YouTubers here. Good joke, though. You just showed that in front of 1,000 people that you're a joke. Congratulations.
Future. As the Straw Hats land on Alabasta and make
I was going to say, like, fantastic. Like, these have been great.
And they met in Logtown, as well as Luffy's brother, Pork Ass T Ace, who saves them from Smoker and gives Luffy.
I have no complaints about these videos at all.
Continuing on his own personal mission to find a pirate by the name of Blackbeard. Deciding to face Crocodile head on, the crew makes for Rain Base and ends up captured in the basement of a casino named Rain Dinners, along with Smoker, who is pursuing them. Although they do manage to escape thanks to Sanji and his banana wani kicking abilities, and Smoker decides not to pursue the Straw Hats, who, having failed to defeat Crocodile, now desperately head for the capital city of Alabasta to stop the civil war before it begins. Although Crocodile doesn't simply let them escape, and Luffy...
It said Alabama! Scott, thank you for the prime sub. It said Alabama.
Before it begins.
Alabama would definitely not be trying to stop the Civil War. They'd be at the forefront, dude. Don't even lie.
Him alone in order to allow the others to proceed. Up against the wall, Luffy is entirely outclassed due to Crocodile's devil fruit abilities, a Logia type fruit that allows him to control and become sand.
He is such a good villain.
After being impaled, Luffy is left for dead in the desert, although luckily he is saved by the enigmatic Missile Sunday. Elsewhere, Vivi and the Straw Hats are unsuccessful in preventing the war from beginning, and the city becomes engulfed in battle, during which the Straw Hats each face off against a high-ranking agent of Baroque Works, with the battles looking a little something.
I forgot about this.
Nami takes on her first
this was the arc. This was like the arc where all of the Straw Hats started like, you know, let's get a little Black Clover deep cut, but started surpassing their limits.
Opponent, Usopp teams up with Chopper to take down an officer-agent duo, Sanji defeats an Okama, and Zoro learns how to cut steel on the fly in order to come out on top against the infamous assassin, Das Bones. Meanwhile, Princess Vivi
literally all of them, dude. All of them.
Confronting Crocodile and is saved by Luffy just before he kills her. And so Luffy vs. Crocodile, round 2, begins. The difference this time is that Luffy knows Crocodile's weakness being water, and so the fight is not anywhere near as one-sided, but Crocodile still manages to defeat Luffy a second time. Shortly after, it is revealed that Crocodile's goal in Alabasta was to reach a poneglyph, which are indestructible stones inscribed with an ancient language. In this case, the poneglyph located on Alabasta was said to detail the location of the ancient...
Yo, GG Fair, thank you for the 5 gifted,
Sunday,
dude.
Who was hired by Crocodile because she can read this language, refuses to tell Crocodile what is truly written, prompting Crocodile to attempt to murder her, resolving that he will raise the entire kingdom until he finds the weapon. At this point, Luffy catches up to him.
Like, think about it. They all surpassed their limits. Robin stepped her game up in a way that you would never expect. Like, it was just such a good arc.
Luffy is able to strike Crocodile in a desperate battle and gains the upper hand, despite being poisoned by the Warlord's hook. And finally, in a moment of stunning resolve, Luffy exclaims that he will become the Pirate King and surpass Crocodile, kicking him into the air and punching him through solid bedrock with a barrage of strikes, leaving Crocodile defeated and the Kingdom of Alabasta saved. After exposing Crocodile, the Civil War ends immediately, and Crocodile himself is arrested by Tashigi, a subordinate of Captain Smoker.
You know what is the biggest conspiracy in all of One Piece? The fact that somehow all of the characters somehow manage to wear jackets without their arms. And I don't understand. I don't understand. I really, really don't.
Smoker. As a result of their actions, Zoro is deemed a threat by the world government and is assigned a bounty of 60 million berries, while Luffy, having defeated one of the 7 warlords, has his bounty increased to a mighty 100 million berries. As the Straw Hats prepare to leave the island, they invite Vivi and Karoo to become permanent members of the crew. However, Vivi makes the tough decision to sacrifice her dreams of adventure.
I still to this day wonder what would happen if she joined the crew. Like, I still to this day wonder if there would have been a difference.
Even more passionate about, which is leading her kingdom. And during their goodbyes, Vivi asks them one simple question, being that if they ever meet again, would they still consider her their shipmate? To which the Straw Hats simply raise their left arms in solidarity, confirming that Vivi and Karoo will forever be members of the Straw Hat Pirates.
I'm so mad.
To set sail on their next
I'm so mad that I can't get that tattoo. I wanted it so bad.
On Sagas in minutes, we'll be
I wanted it so bad.
Heavens in order to break down
what do you think of the Prime
events
sub, dude?
Of the Sky Island Saga. If you enjoyed this video and the content this channel produced in general, then please do consider donating to the Grand Line Review Patreon, because the support of all of you amazing people is what continues to
I mean, like, I wouldn't say I prefer Vivi over any of the other Straw Hats, but I still would have been nice to see what she do.
Support this incredible amount. And if you'd like to join the fun at any time, then please do head over to my Discord server, where a wide array of shenaniganry takes place on a daily basis. And finally, please do comment with your thoughts on the Alabasta Saga. This has been the Grand Line Review, and I'll see you next time.
So he's not useless, which is your point? Oh my god, shut up. You guys know what I mean. I love when people do that. Philip.
Crocodile. I mean, Mr. Zero. I mean, who is this? Right. Last name injection. First name Anna. Very well. I'll check. Hey everyone, is there an anal injection in this building?
What?
Come on now, who has an anal injection for me? How about you, Mr. One? I feel like you'd know an anal injection more than anybody else here.
Yeah, you know about anal injections, bro?
Wait a minute.
I don't understand why that was there. Why was that even a thing, dude? What the fuck, bro?